Hello,
Oh, my
today.
sister is there.
Yes, hello.
Sandra, hello.
Hey, hi, Patty.
Hola, Norita. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you. Just
Today,
us, Sandra, or more
yes.
people? It's just us or more people?
At the moment, it's just us.
Hi,
But I'm
Helen.
just starting because we were talking about Japan.
Oh, apologies. Okay, thank you.
So today is module 8. Year 1, the art of knowing yourself. Module 8, learning the multidimensionality of our crown chakra. And this is class number 1. So this space is sponsored by BU Yoga Studio and BU Yoga Books available on Amazon. And we are going to welcome to country. I begin today acknowledging the traditional custodians of the Darawa country on which we are gathering today and pay respect and gratitude to the elders past, present, and emerging. And just relax your body. Prepare your space, your inner space, your outer space, maybe lighting a candle. And when you're ready, you can do a short free from writing, whatever is bothering you, just put it in a piece of paper. Remember, if things come along during the class that you want to write and then burn it at the end or flash it in the toilet. And you can call yourself into the light. Remember, in page 37 to 42 is the calling to the light, the intention, giving, receiving, awareness to keep tracking your diary. And the crown chakra is a astral chakra. In Sanskrit means 1,000 doors to the universe. And in English it's not the crown chakra and it's identified with the color white. That is really the fusion of all the colors.
Sandra, I have a question.
Yeah.
The chakras are related with the crystals? Yes.
Yes, each chakra have a color.
No,
But the number of petals, you mean?
I mean, if, like, for example, my friend have issues with her voice, just voice. So I thought, why not to use the blue chakra stone, crystal, in a necklace to put it here and stop. That's the reminder not to tell lies.
Yes. And if you look in a book of crystals,
yes,
they have meanings with the colors, and the colors of the crystal that looks like the colors of the chakras help for each chakra. Yes, you can do this.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And also, I show you this Buddha here.
Actually, I like the drawing, the beautiful thing that your cousin did for you, for your book with the colors.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
So here is the Buddha, and you have all these little, I thought the Buddha was curly hair, but that's the 1,000 lights.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's the meaning of the 1,000, the crown chakra.
Ah, okay. I thought that it was a hair.
I thought that was the Buddha was curly, but no, those are the lights, the 1,000 lights of the crown chakra.
Amazing. 1,000? Okay.
Yes, 1,000. So why is the combination of the color? Is the color of the spiritual body and allows the soul to experience multidimensionality. Because it's all the colors as one, so experiencing the multidimensionality. And gains experience in all and awareness in all levels. Okay?
Okay.
So the crown chakra is associated with the cerebral cortex, the nervous system, and the pineal gland, which regulates the sleep and other biological cycles. It is concerned with thoughts, information, understanding, acceptance, and bliss. It says is the place of our connection to God.
I love that. It's close to the divinity.
Yes.
I love that.
And the chakra is the chakra of the divine purpose and personal destiny. This chakra is unbalanced or polluted by earthy attachments. And the cure is freedom.
Oh, wow. What page is that one, Sandra?
Page 65.
Thank you.
The color of the chakra is white. That's why it contains all the colors. What is the symbol of wholeness? The sacred vowels that are in harmony with the crown chakra is the higher pitch E. And because it's considered beyond the chakras or infinite, the hue is also harmonized with that chakra. And the symbol of is the 1,000 petals.
So you mean that the white color is the highest in the colors, is it?
It is the fusion of all the colors. When you have all the colors in one, it looks white. It's all the colors in one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So we were talking about that these little things are the 1,000 lights of the crown chakra. That I thought that the Buddha was curly, but no, it's the lights, the 1,000 lights. Yeah. So
I was looking at the other day and I thought, is that the Buddha or is like what is it? So I was trying to.
Yeah, so Buddha is like, you know, all of us sort of thing. When we are in a meditative state, we become sort of a Buddha sort of thing. It's like the Christ. We all have the Christ consciousness, but we need to develop it. We all have this Buddha thing, but we need to develop it. We need to light our 1,000 lights. Not everybody is been lighting them. Because a lot of people gets up to different levels. You know, some people have the 3 chakras only, you know, the instinct part of them, but not very develop the more human part. Some people have the human part, but not very spiritual part, you know. So everybody develops their own things according to what they like or according to the destiny or what they came to learn. So not everybody is interested to get up to the crown chakra. You know, some people are very happy just to live all their life, their eye down. Remember the third eye have both two, one to the down and one up?
Yes.
Some people just live up to there, and some people just live lower than that. So it's not a chakra that everybody develops in a lifetime. Only people who are interested in going up here.
Probably because if you don't know the meaning, you don't develop. I mean, since I yoga with you, I realized this journey and opened the eyes for me, everything in every single way.
Yeah, because some people, you know, they are not into they are into enjoy this physicality. They are not into something above, beyond that.
Yeah.
So they are not they happy just to live in this physical plane, and they're not interested in going beyond that. So it's sort of a choice. Yeah, really. But sometimes when you get tired and you realize that this physical pain doesn't give you enough, that you're looking for something bigger, something that really fulfill you, is when you start searching for something beyond that. Because you try everything in this physical and it's not enough, doesn't fill you up. So it's when you start thinking this have to be something more than that. And it's when you start searching higher and you start developing your upper third eye to crown chakra.
I feel also through suffering, when you have situations that make you suffer.
Yes, so suffering could be one of the things that push you into find something else, because then you realize why I'm suffering, and maybe the comfort is not in this physicality. So then you start searching for something bigger to try to comfort yourself. And that's why sometimes suffering is the door to reach something higher.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, but for some people, it is really the door that opens to something bigger, because they're searching, because they're suffering too much in just this physicality. It's too dense, and they realize it has to be something more than this.
Their body, but that's the only way of suffering, isn't it?
Yeah.
But something in them knows that there is something more, that they don't have to just suffer.
Can you hear Danielle?
No.
We can need translation.
So it's very interesting about this chakra, because we are going to, as we said, what balance the chakra is attachment. And the attachments are the attachments that unbalance the other chakras. So attachment to our fears, attachment to our guilt, attachment to our resentments, attachment to our suffering, attachment to our lies, attachment to our judgments, attachment to our feeling separated or disconnected. So only when we drop all those attachments is when we balance all those chakras and we reach the crown chakra.
Oh.
It looks funny because we said, are we really attached to those that rubbish? And yes, we do. You know, sometimes we are angry at something and we don't want to. No, I'm not going to forgive that. Yeah. You know, so we are attached to that. Or we are suffering and we don't want to let it go. We keep suffering forever because, how can I forget that this is I love this so much, so I have to keep suffering to show my love, sort of thing. You know?
Oh,
so
wow. Yes.
It's a lot of things that we are attached, and the attachment that we have to let go are all those attachments that keep us unbalanced, our lower chakras. So it's not a simple work. It's easy to say and not as easy to do it, you know?
I just realized I'm too human.
Yeah, it's part of being human. But we can being a human without, it's like we can walk on the earth without being to the earth, sort of thing.
Yes.
So you can be part of it without really how do I explain that? You can be of it without being too involved of it, sort of thing. You just enjoy, pass it through, but don't get too mixed up in the density. So you can infuse yourself into all of this, or you can just glide through it, sort of thing.
Yes.
So, and as you can see, it's more difficult to explain because we're getting higher and it's not really words to express. But when I try to say something, you all know, thinking, yes, I know what you mean, even your words are not very accurate. sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the issue with this crown chakra. We need to experience it more than talk about it.
Yes.
Okay? So that's why meditation, again, because it's get in and start processing those things that, you know, analyze, okay, my fears, which fears I really attached to, you know, and some of those fears doesn't have any sense. It's just like a habit, you know. I have the habit of being fearful of this, but really, if you think about it and you have the courage to let it go, you don't need it.
Something that I was working through, which might speak to, like,
Yeah.
I don't know whether this would be a good example.
Yeah.
So I've been working through, we called it kind of infatuations as opposed to fears, because I think it can be an infatuation as well, with kind of thinking about something in a certain way, like become infatuated about that kind of thinking, and we're stuck. So let me give an example. So something I was working through recently was, like, I think is the role of a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in my mind, you know, people would say to me, you know, you're a mother, and this is what it means to be a mother, and you're doing all these wonderful things. But still, there was still a part of me that wanted to reject that within my mind, because inside of me, there's still this sense of, well, it's still not enough. So, but then I sat and thought about it, and what I realized was that you know, there was a little bit of a imbalance, I suppose, between what I think of to be a mother up here, and so what I'm learning to feel is what a mother is. If that makes sense. So in my mind, you know, I'm a mother of 2 children, and it's this, and I've got to do this, I've got to cook, and I've got to clean, and I've got to make sure the house is organized, and
Expectations.
yes, it's the
and
outside,
not get into the
it's
expectations.
the outside world kind of thing. But still within me, yes, I can do all these things, but I didn't feel like it was fulfilling me as much as I love my kids to death, like, and they are the, you know, most precious gift if you know, if you have your own children, but like it still felt that I had more, there was more for me to give. And so in reflecting even deeper, so it does take journaling and things like that, but going even deeper with that was this, it's what's sinking in for me is more, what it feels like is we're a mother, not just to our children. So for women who don't even have children, we're a mother to the world, or
to yourself first.
To yourself first, and then to the world. But in saying what you just said, in mother to yourself, then I was doing some self-reflection on that, because as part of the healing journey, in the past, so my trauma was, from a little girl, was growing up with, you know, parents who, I guess, you know, there was a level of toxicity there, you know, in there was domestic violence and things like that. So growing up, I learned that my dad was bad, and my mom was good. But what happened more recently was I did all this healing with this masculine wound, and it was just what came through me. And then that shifted. It was the opposite. My dad was good and my mum was bad. So then this last couple of weeks I've been sad, and I've been, you know, I was like, how can I now believe that my mum was bad? Because my mum did all these wonderful things in the past, but now I believe that she, you know, I just kind of despise my mom because she didn't do all this work and all these different reasons. So I sat down and I wrote a list of why I disliked her, but why do I love my mum? What do I like about her? Just to try and get that balance back again. But in doing that list, it's starting to allow me to go, these are the things I can appreciate about myself. So it's not really about my mom.
It's about you.
And it was all about healing me.
Yeah.
Even the masculine and with my dad and my mum, it was all about me. So now what I'm doing is realizing that, you know, my mum's role was sacred, and yes, she could only do what she could do with the resources that she had. And now I can take this anger, but it's not at my mum. It's a righteous anger to be able to now make a difference within myself and my children, but also on a larger scale as a mother, to hopefully on a bigger scale to the world. And so that's where I feel like that's where that is kind of taking me. And I don't know if that kind of links in with the crown. I don't know, but or whether it's more the third eye and trying to balance out the polarities there with that. I don't know, but that was kind of what was happening for me.
So it makes sense when you're talking, you know, when you have a balance, and you know those old balance that you used to measure things, people used to measure, you know, and then you put the weight, and then you try to miss the weight, and then maybe you put a little bit more on that side, and finally you match and get balance. So what you were saying, you know, first your dad was the bad guy, then you to trying to balance that, then suddenly your mom becomes the bad guy, you know. So it's like it's life. You try to balance, and finally that comes into a level. And it's when you just have that issue balanced or integrated. You know, we use different words. We say it's now integrated, or it's now balanced. It's now, because we have to try and error. We get to that point. So really what we're talking here is to balance, to get to a shiny 1,000 volts chakra, we need to balance the ones down there. We have to balance all of that. And detachment is the word, because and detachment is like, it's freedom. So the cure of the attachments are the ones that unbalance the chakra, doesn't let it illuminate. And the detachment give us freedom. But to get that freedom, we have to clear everything that is under it. And as you were expressing, Daniel was saying, it's a trial and error until we find the way to balance it, and then move to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And it's a job that we're going to do all the time until as long as we have a physical body, because this is the nature of this. So once we get out of this physical body, then we become other thing. But while we're here, we are always doing this.
Some situations don't have balance.
No, because that's why I'm saying in this physical world when you balance something, you unbalance something else, because this is the nature of this physical world.
Yeah. And some things you want them to be balanced, you want them to be your balance in your imagination, but they are the balance of the human life.
No, it's not. This physical body doesn't give us the perfect balance.
No.
Because when you are trying to balance something, you are unbalancing something else.
Exactly. An example might be like right now here, obviously it's daytime, so we're more kind of in the light. So it's like something in your life, like there might be something going really well and you're happy, but then tonight it's going to be dark, and it might, something might be a bit heavier for us tonight. So it's the polarity of it's just the nature of the universe.
Because that's what this plane is about. It's about the polarities. It's about one or the other one.
It's having the acceptance, really, isn't it? That it's not about just being. There is the middle, because obviously you'll have like sunrise and sunset. So you do have this transition, but it's about just accepting that both sides is that we're always going to be doing this dance. It's not about just trying to be in one on the light side, so to speak. Is that right?
But the thing is now it's a thing of attitude. You know, things happen. You know, this war is always like that. But what is my attitude? I'm going to focus on this one, or I'm going to focus on this one. So then what I start playing is our attitude in front of the imbalance. Okay, are we going to suffer for that, or are we going to just observe and keep going?
And just make it's okay. It's both.
Exactly.
It's both.
And be detached, because we got attached to perfection. Oh, I have to balance all the time. That's an attachment. Because this world is not designed for that. So it's an attachment that we're going to suffer because we are not balanced. You know? So it's a little trap in the trap.
It's the mind that wants to grasp onto that. But the more that we can talk ourselves through that and just relax our body into it, that is when the mind starts to let go. So retrain the body to have a new way of thinking. Is that right?
Yes, but it's the mind is an instrument. This is the thing. Sometimes we think the mind is us, but the mind is not us. The mind is like the body. We are not the body. The body is like our instrument to perform in this plane. The mind as well, and the feelings as well. So what we know who is us when we can observe the mind. So the day that you start seeing your mind thinking, then the observer is not your mind, because you are observing your mind. So then you know it's you. And that you, the observer, is really here, the crown chakra. The observer is the crown, or is above the crown, is the one that we truly are, is that essence of God that is in us. It's consciousness, yes. So
a little bit difficult to, I mean, we observe, yes, but observing and to get in that stage that you said is, wow, it takes,
exactly.
I don't know.
Takes practice and takes a lot of, so that's the thing of meditation, because when you really start meditating or doing spiritual exercises, you train yourself to get above the mind, because then the mind is not dominating you. You are directing your mind, and you get above the mind, and you can see what the mind is doing. Okay? That's why I said a lot of people don't get to that. A lot of people in this time, in this lifetime, they think they are the mind, and they get up to here. You know?
Wow.
But we are not our mind, and only we can observe our mind when we train ourselves through spiritual exercises or meditation. So when we train ourselves that, when you start seeing what your mind is doing, then you start connecting to that part that is really you.
Sandra, because I think, I don't know if a lot of women can kind of relate to what it feels like to be disconnected. I don't know, but for me, the big aha was a disconnection for me. But that was the very start of my awakening, and now it's not just about being disconnected. Now I've learned a lot of different things and how to be more in the body, because that's important as well. But to me, the disconnect is kind of leaving your body and just being out of this world. You know, we can just disconnect just because we don't want to feel anything. But what I've learned now is that it's a similar state, except you're in both places. You're in your body and you're above at the same time.
And you know what is very interesting? Only having a physical body will give you the full experience of all the traveling through. So I'm going to say something that maybe will shock some of you. but we are in a better position than angels and archangels because they don't have a physical body.
It's true.
We do. And so we have the full experience to travel up and out, so we can develop everything to reach and know who we are. The ones that are out of the body, that we call masters or whatever, they don't have this full experience. So we are more privileged. And when we come here, you know, we fight and we wait to have a physical body. The problem is that we then forget and we trash it. But this is so precious. And I recently heard something that really resonated with me, said, the only job that you have is to look after that beautiful human body that you were given, you know? And then when you know how to look after that, everything falls into part. Because if you love yourself, obviously you're going to love your kids, you're going to love your husband, you're going to love your friends, but if you don't really truly nurture and love yourself, you cannot love anyone else. You know, you can sacrifice and do and blah, 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 but you don't really love them until you love yourself. So everything is about that. And we always try to do the opposite. I have to sacrifice myself because I love someone. Bullshit. You know? Because it doesn't work that way. And exactly. But religion or belief make us think that we have to sacrifice and do things for people better, because it's a trap here as well, you know, to keep us ignorant of the reality. And if we remember, that's why meditation is so important, because we need to remember who we truly are. And only practicing is when we suddenly are going to see and observe and remember, because it's not about knowledge. The knowledge, we already have it. It's to remember that we know, because we forgot. So all the answers that you need are inside of you. Everything. You don't have to ask anyone. But to reach that place, we need to practice a lot. So if we were meditating 5 minutes for the third eye chakra, I invite you for these coming weeks to meditate 10 minutes for the crown chakra.
Daily.
At least.
Daily.
Daily?
I don't know. Daily, really?
Yes, it's better to do 5 minutes a day than 1 hour a week.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And that become a habit.
Mm-hmm.
And you, Norita, because you didn't do the crown chakra with the third eye with us, you can do 5 to start building the discipline.
Yes,
but
yes.
If we did our 5 minutes already, just do 10. You just move to 10. Because it's the only way that we can really start remembering who we truly are. And when we remember who we truly are, we bring that energy down to balance the other chakras.
Just say, because sometimes it's difficult for people to meditate because they're so, we can be so in our minds and busy. So what would be the best way for somebody? Would you say, because meditating can be lots of different things, can't it? It can be walking on the grass with barefoot, or it could just you can still be it's just being with yourself. There might still be thoughts that kind of come through, mightn't there? But it's more getting into the body, would you say?
whatever, you know, each person have their own way to meditate, and different days, different things, you know. For example, today I feel like sit still, silent. Another day I feel like I want to walk on the grass and be aware of each step. Maybe another day I just want to eat my meal in silence and take each spoon and feel the flavors and be totally present of the, and that's my meditation. You know, I meditate. Today my meditation is at lunch. 10 minutes of fully aware of each thing that touch my mouth, the flavors, the juices, the textures. Sometimes we just glop and we don't even know what we put through it.
Getting into appreciation, isn't it? I think sometimes it can be hard to shift into
Exactly. And it's, you know, once you said my intention is that I'm going to meditate for the next 10 minutes. If you have an intention clear, it's not such a thing of a bad meditation. It's not. As soon as you start, whatever happen, it's happened because it's balancing things. You know, maybe you sit 10 minutes and you've been battling, and at the other 10 minutes you said, bad meditation. No, we don't, no, it's not. It's not. And one day that you just sit and you're like, oh, in glory, and then after the 10 minutes you said, wow, I was in the nothingness. That was a great meditation. They are all good. The one that you were battling and the one that you were like in total bliss and zen, and they both.
Yeah, all my meditations are battling.
All your meditations are what?
I'm battling to.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Don't judge it. That's what it is. Very
frustrated.
It's okay. Just let it be. Let it be, because one day it's like you know, sometimes you need to mess your house to clean it.
Yes.
Yes, it's like that. So when I start cleaning, I start cleaning, the house looks worse because I start moving furniture and, you know, getting to the corners, and the house at some point looks messier when I start cleaning. And then suddenly you start accommodating things, and then things get beautiful. And it's the same, you know, you start getting into the cleaning of that thing, and you are messing things up, and you are accommodating, and you are messing it up, and suddenly you start. And it takes what it takes, you know?
To be a nice place to enjoy it, probably a couple years ago. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's more difficult, but I know now, according with what you say, this is the way it is at the moment. And I have to accept it. Yes?
Yes, just don't drop the expectations.
Yeah.
You know, you have an expectation of what should be the perfect meditation. Just detach from it.
Yeah.
You just sit, and whatever happens, and that's it. Don't expect anything. Don't judge it. You see? Expectations, judgments, fears.
I think I'm trying to relate to where you're coming from, but I think it's like there's a little girl, I think, inside of us all that wants the result right now. And it's like, well, I want to get that. I want to be able to meditate. I want to do it right. Like I want to, you know, it wants to do the right thing.
But what is right? That's what is right.
I feel where it is in the body. It's like it feels tight. It's like it's kind of like gripping on. But it's kind of, then there's this other voice that we kind of have that goes, hang on, it's okay. It's okay.
I ask a question to Helen. Helen, how do you meditate? Do you mind to share?
No. A variety of ways, sometimes walking on the beach, or just, you know, just being truly present, and just seeing the beauty, or, you know, the weather or whatever. Sometimes I do like to just lie, and lie down and just can be completely relaxed. Yeah, so there's a couple of ways.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes, we have some preconceived ideas of how it should be. So forget the shoulds.
Uh-huh.
And just do it. And after done it, don't even judge it. It's fine. It's fine. Because then start getting, you see, when we meditate, all those things comes out. Our shoulds or our judgments or our guilts or our fears of that we didn't match what we supposed to. All these ideas, that's what we need to detach from to get up here. So anything that is an attachment, we are attached to do it perfectly, but what is perfectly? We are attached to
The idea of even being more spiritual sometimes.
Exactly, the idea that I'm going to be a superwoman, powerful, full of light around my head, or imagine ourselves as a being of light or whatever, Those are our own ideas. So just winning your own imagination, because normally we tend to lose in our imagination, and it's our imagination. We need to win in our imagination, because we normally lose in our own imagination, and it's mine, so just win it. And that's what the mind does. The mind likes, so that's why really it's a big job just to keep that mind directed. That in the old words is discipline, but sometimes discipline is a strong word. So I use directed, but it's some sort of discipline, just put it in the, observe it and say, you're not the boss, I am. But your real I am. That's why that's a powerful word, I am. Because that's referring to who you really are, no Sandra, Helen, Danielle, Patico, no, it's I am, the one that is connected to source, to God, or whatever to consciousness. So here, just take this land of play. We're playing here. Sometimes we play and we get hurt, like kids. They play, they cry, they scratch their knees, cry, and then 5 minutes later, they laughing again. We're supposed to be like that here, We play in this physical world, we cry. The problem with us is that we stay too long in the cry. If you see kids, they can jump from crying to laugh very quickly. But when we start getting too sophisticated and we think that we need to suffer more to be a better person, so we cry longer. But it's just a belief. And then if someone is very neutral and doesn't feel anything, we hammer them. Doesn't feel anything. Why is not suffering? Just, we expect people to suffer because of something.
Because they suffer too, so.
Yeah, no, but you know how much you will criticize someone? I know it because, I come from Colombia when everything is very emotional. If a lady in a little town lost her husband or her kid and she doesn't cover herself in black for at least a year, everybody will criticize that she didn't feel anything.
Yes.
And it's ridiculous. Because
exactly.
if she moves on to the second day and she's already happy, she will be full criticized. She never loved them. And maybe she loved them in an excellence that she doesn't have anything to regret and she's free to move on to the next day.
That's it, that she doesn't need to show the whole world that she did.
Exactly, because
you
she
know what I
was,
mean? Yeah.
she
That's one
spent the quality time to that loved one that she doesn't need to prolong the suffering. She did exactly full on what she need to do, and she's free to move on. You see the different things? But in our mind,
Yes.
because we judge that person, we do it to ourselves. Oh, it's no way I can get free now. I have to suffer so people know how much I love them.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yes.
You see, the mind is doing these games. But if we see from the above, we will see that doesn't make any sense. And this is just with one example. But with, so the idea, the homework that I guess I'm going to encourage you to do this, okay, actually 2 weeks, because next Monday I won't be here. I have a class, a course, but not next Monday, but the Monday after, we are going to really have 2 weeks to reflect on those little attachments that we have, those little beliefs pattern, and how we can liberate them and get freedom. And then maybe you can identify in which chakra is that attachment, you know, if it's a judgment, maybe it's about the thymus chakra. If it's a fear, it's related to the root chakra. If it's a guilt or resentment, it's related to the sacral. If it's a shame, it's related to the solar plexus. If it's a sadness, it's related to the heart. If it's a lie, or those things that we think that we're supposed to do, you know, that's a lie, would be related to the throat. And if it's a sense of separation, you know, I know, but I'm good, that person is not that good, or oh, that's a killer and I'm a saint, you know. So those sense of separation may be related to the third eye. So it's just to observe ourselves, observe, and do our 10 minutes meditation every day to get more and more into that observer, that can observe. And that observer can give us more clues about what is unbalanced down there. So that's I'm going to tell you the sounds for this chakra too. So if you want to do your meditation chanting the sounds, because it's that's another way to meditate.
Which
So
one is
chanting the sound.
Oh, yes.
Chanting?
Okay.
Yes, chanting is a way, so you just close your eyes and chant, or if you're going for a walk, you're chanting the sound too. So that's a way to keep the mind directing to the sound.
And which one is it, Sandra?
So the sounds for this crown chakra could be in the, you were doing the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, is the higher do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. So it's the higher one.
Okay.
Or sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa is the higher sound. It's like starting the scale again, but higher. It's the start of the scale again, but in a higher pitch.
And what word we will use?
Could be do, could be sa, S-A.
Yes.
Could be E, a higher pitch E, or could be the hue.
The hue?
Yeah.
Yes, the hue is beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe connected me with my yoga course with
I
you.
love the hue because we are human.
So
hue in Sanskrit is God,
yes.
and we man, human, God man. So it's very related to our true self. that one that we want to search for with our crown chakra. So I like the hue. But whatever you feel like is fine. Or if you want to mix and match, sometimes you can play with it like, you chant them aloud, and then you can whisper them, and then you can chant it in your mind, and back to whisper, and play with the whisper, singing, mental, because that gives us a break to the mind, because the mind can get very sophisticated, and if you only chanting, then the mind find a way to keep chanting and go somewhere else. But if you have to be alert, because at certain point you have to whisper, so you have double things. And if you use your fingers, for example, like in Sata, Nama, your mind have to be also playing with how you move your fingers. So, and then once I was meditating, and I got into this mudra, and I call it the Viju Yoga mudra sort of thing. So 2 fingers, and then you make like a triangle. So you change these 2 fingers and make like a triangle. So when you put this part on the first 3 chakras, on the first 3 lower chakras here.
Okay.
Okay? And then you chant there for a little while. And then you move it and turn. So this part gets into the heart chakra, into the heart, between the heart and the throat chakra. This. And then you turn it up and get up, and it's like a cup. Yes. And this is for the crown chakra to get through. You see? So you
touching your head there?
Yes, if you want to touch or down, whatever is easier for you. But you can meditate a little while on your 3 lower chakras, then move to the next 3, and then you move to the crown and third eye. And then you stay there as long as you can, and then back, and then back here, and then back here. So it's like moving yourself up and down.
When you're down, when you started, the triangle goes inside facing your tummy or outside?
So this first, your sort of
like
palms,
that?
your palms are on your belly.
Okay.
This part, and then you rotate it and get into your heart.
All right.
And then you rotate it again. So the palms are facing your belly, and then facing the front, and then facing up. So the palms facing, this part of the palms on your tummy. And then you rotate it, and the palms are facing forward. The palms. Yes. And now the palms facing up. You need to turn the palms. So that's another way to, like you saying, okay, now I'm concentrating, what do I need to explore about my first 3 chakras? And then about the next 3, and then the next 2. And then bring the energy and bring it back to the next 3, and then down. So Yeah. Bye, Patico. See
Be
you
all-
in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Enjoy your course. Thank you. Ari, sorry, I just have to do something. Work. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, Patty.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
So what is
I
it?
had a question about the crown, because one of my coaches had said, like, we spoke about like some of the spiritual gifts that we all have. But one of the things with the crown was that we, you know, we can connect to people, whether dead or alive, in, you know, whether we want to, if I wanted to connect with you or with somebody, you know, Joe Dispenza, whoever it is that you can kind of do, there's a practice that you can do to kind of connect with them on a kind of soul level and like learn from them the things that they already know. There's access to that out in the broader field of consciousness.
Yeah. Because we are one.
I know, but there was still like the old part in the past, I guess, I would used to think, oh, I need to get here because then I can do this and I can do that and I can connect there and there and there. But then now I'm in this place of actually, the way that sorry, this is a bit kind of skewed and a bit everywhere because I'm trying to just find where it needs to be at, whether it's in me or outside of me, but in that way, or whether it's kind of both. Maybe I just answered my own question. But in the past, I would kind of go looking out there.
Can say,
wouldn't find.
We want to do this, we want to do that.
Whereas now it's like, well, how do I feel like I've kind of shut down from it because I would feel like it was just a bit of a woo-woo kind of belief to kind of even go there. I thought, oh, maybe I'm just wasting time, like thinking that that's even possible. So maybe it was more like, just come back to your body and maybe you'll just be shown one time. But I kind of just left it. So I wondered if you would speak to that.
That have multidimensionality as well, you know? So our physical body have the capacity to do that communication. And we do it, but we do it unconsciously. You know, you are thinking of your friend and your friend ring you. You know, so we already do it, but we are not doing it consciously. We do it unconsciously. We can start training that part of us and be more efficient, you know. It's part of our brain function. What happens is we don't use it, and we don't use it, we don't develop. So I was telling Helen, now they're doing some research with autistic kids that they are not verbal, and they discovered that they actually can do telepathy because they don't develop the speaking, so they can communicate because they
verbally,
because of the need, because they don't develop this, so they develop something else. We all have the capacity to develop it, but because we have verbal, we don't have the need to do it, so we don't do it. Yeah. Plus, in the past, when people used to do it, they used to burn them because they were witches, you know? Because they could kind of know what people so were. People don't develop that because it's scary, because you can die from developing that, you know? So it's a lot of reasons why we don't develop it. And plus, a lot of people say, you're crazy, that's not possible. It is possible. It's in part of our brain that we can develop that. And I did learn that when I was young. And in therapy, I was unconscious that was my behavior. That's what I did, because I would kind of go around just kind of understanding what people need, and I would just kind of do it. But what I learned through therapy was that actually I had to learn to communicate that in a different way, because not everybody understood that kind of language. So I had to learn a new language. But now that you're saying that, it's like, I can actually bring that back in. Yes, and it's okay. But that also have multidimensionality. So part of that is lower and part of that can be higher, you know, that also have stages. So say that a very basic thing that is in our brain is that I can read your mind and communicate or send a message, you know. We can use it in a bad way that will be controlling, you know, and some people control people like that, and that's not something that we want to get into because it's violating, that give you karma that you don't want to deal with. So we keep away from those things. But a higher sense is the sense that the understanding, when it's very high up here in the crown chakra, is the understanding that we are all one, and I love you as much as I love myself, and we are all brothers and sisters, and we are all the same thing, and your pain is my pain, your win is my win, you know? So it's not more competition, because we all happy about everybody, because we are, you know, the part of you that is winning is part of me, because we are all one. So it's a different, higher perspective of the same thing. So then it's like, my spiritual teacher used to say, it's like a spider web that, you know, the spider is in the middle, and as soon as something gets trapped in one corner, the full thing vibrates, and she knows something got trapped there without going there to check, you know? So we become something like that. We feel that one of our brothers and sisters is experiencing something because we just feel the vibration then. And it's not, and it's that connection. It's not because I'm reading your mind letter by letter, but because I feel that vibration. Suddenly I said, is Daniel okay? You know? And some part of you knows. And some mothers can experience that with the kids. You know, the kid is at the school and you feel something, and it's that they just fall and scratch the knees. So we already have it, but we are not very conscious about it. But when we work through the crown chakra, it's going to be in a way that is very loving. It's not controlling. It's just an awareness, a consciousness that, oh, my brother, my sister is suffering. What can I do to, I just send love and light.
It's got to come from love, hasn't it? Otherwise, I don't think we...
I just send my love, yes.
Access it from a place, maybe, but I don't even want to think about accessing it from a different place, so...
Exactly, that's why I'm saying we don't want to access in a way that is controlling, or a way that we have our secret agenda to get advantage, you know? That's not the way. The way is in a higher level of loving and caring. You know, oh, I can feel something happen, like the spider web, you know? You just feel the vibration, you just feel, and you just remember, you know, oh, mom, or dad, or my friend, or someone around the world, and you just send your love and your good wish. And
interesting what you're saying, Sandra. I don't want to take it too long because I know time, but what you said then is that you know, not about having this control inside, but then it's interesting, and I think where I can probably go, all right, I need to see something differently here, so you can probably speak to it. But then, you know, when we talk about manifesting the life, because we become the creator of our lives as well. So it's not what God's plan is. I mean, it kind of is, because you're connecting through to higher consciousness, but it's like, also, if you are part of that creator consciousness, you also get to decide and be part of that plan. So it's like, okay, so where is the line between me trying to map my life by design versus trying to control? Does that make sense? Like, where's if I want to create this life, what would be the difference with the control?
Because you don't create with your mind. You know, we think we have to create with our mind, but really the creation in this plane, actually the creation is done. So you just need to position yourself in the now and be open to what is expressing, what is there for you, and enjoy right now. What happened is we project things. We said, I'm going to be the president in 2 years, you know, and then we get so obsessed and anxious about it. When you don't have to think about it, we just need to be present, and the present will bring what is next for you.
Don't you need to have
It's
like
a cooperation.
an idea of where you're going? like, I know, because
Yes.
even the moment you go into that, you start going into the future, and it can start to create like a resistance.
Look, I've been all my life a planner. And I think this is different for each person, you know? My experience now is that when I was younger, I was like a river going down the hill, you know? That is, have big turns and twists, and I need to control that I don't get out of my way because it's rough, it's quick, it's doing, it's, you know? And now I feel myself in a meadow going to the ocean that is more flat, and it's more sort of, I can afford to just be, okay? Because it's not much of a maneuver. I need more maneuver and planning and see when I was going down the mountains, you know, like that water that is going to the ocean. But now it's a space now that I'm, you know, in that sort of valley, just going into the ocean. And I don't need that much planning to don't get out of, you know. So I guess it depends on what part of your life you are. Sometimes you need to plan ahead, and sometimes you just can be and relax and flow. Sometimes the mind wants to tell you that you need to plan, but I found that the times that I don't plan, things flow better. And when I plan, I just get anxious to tick my boxes. You know, it's very funny because my son was telling me that, and he was very wise, because at the school they have to make goals. And they send parents, you need to help your kid with the goals and blah, blah, blah. So I said to him, okay, let's do your goals. And he said, Mom, I know what I need to do. I don't want to set up those goals because they fuck my mind. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, I get too anxious. I just know I want to be good at school, do my soccer, be good at that. That's enough for me. I don't want to plan anything because that he said, fuck my mind. And I thought he means he gets anxious about it.
Exactly, yes.
And then I thought, what a wise little kid, you know?
They're teaching us. They teach us, believe me. I have my grandchildren, they're not even 4 years old, and they're already teaching me so much, but I'm thinking, oh my God.
Because they really are more advanced now. So if we want wisdom, we just listen to the kids.
Yes.
They just speak wisdom all the time.
Even
so
my
those
son,
are the little things that we are attached to. We are attached to the planning, but the planning is maybe not the answer, you know? And I've been a very good planner on my life, the ticking boxes.
It's true, because when I've wanted something.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? I need to say goodbye.
See you next in 2 weeks.
See you. I'll see you this afternoon, Sandra.
Yes, see you this afternoon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Yes, interesting, isn't it? Because I like planning too, but because if I don't plan, how do I know it's going to be all right? I mean, like, I don't know.
But then if you can afford it, just do the exercises of no planning and just be open to what is present for you. And that's what I'm doing. I've been fighting a lot to do that. My diary used to be full of things to do each day.
Yes.
And now it's almost empty, just waiting for what is going to show up. And believe me, it's been amazing.
Oh, wow.
My diaries were full, and I was.
Well, I'm glad it's working for you.
I've learned, I've been doing that, especially the last 5 months, like this year. And I've not been worrying about certain things that normally I would be worrying about, like, you know, money or whatever else. And, you know, there's kind of a storm going on around me, but it's not that I'm ignoring it. I'm not, but it feels like there's a level of trust within inside of me.
It's a
just
trust.
Going, it's
It's
going to be
trust.
okay. And my mind doesn't know how it's going to be okay. Honestly, it doesn't. But inside of me, I'm going, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. But even though I know if it carries on the way that it is, with everything that's happening, then it's essentially it's not.
It's time for you to let go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is all about, in these 2 weeks, I want you to observe, okay, this is something that I really need, or is an attachment? This is really helping my life, or is actually restricting my life and not giving me freedom? Because the crown chakra is about freedom and detachment. So all the little things that we are attached to, we are attached to the planning, we are attached to the things have to be perfect, all those little attachments. It's time for me to let go or no? And for each person is a different stage. As I said, for me before and now is a different stage. So you need to find out where you are.
Yes.
Didn't see it before. It's like, okay, there's letting go of all these little things. And I thought I'd let go there because I've been just trusting and whatever, but my mind is still in that dance of, hang on, I'm hoping that something's going to happen. If it doesn't, the shit's going to hit the fan kind of thing. But in that, I'm still holding on to the shit's going to hit the fan. Like by trusting this, but in holding on to that story that it's going to hit the fan, it surely is.
Exactly. So let go of that story, because that story is your attachment. Already, you see? Yeah.
Well, I see how you don't see it. Like you think that you're doing the right thing, but then there's somewhere that you're grasping and you don't see.
So I think maybe the homework for these 2 weeks is to challenge your little beliefs and challenge them and say, are you really making me happy? Because sometimes we prefer to be right than happy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
you need someone else to
mirror you. Yes. So that's why we are each other here, to mirror ourselves. So when you feel cringy about something, it's not that person, it's you. So just get the opportunity to say, okay, what is she reflecting me? Because I'm cringing because she's reflecting me something in me that I'm not very happy about it.
Yes.
Wanting to
Great.
Yes. Yes. So that's why we are each other helpers.
Yes,
and the ones that give us more heat, like more frustration, are the ones that are showing us the most where in ourselves we are not comfortable with.
I can't believe it. I can feel it.
You can feel it going. Let it go. Don't even think about it. Let it go. Don't
let
even
it go. Yes.
Don't
let
even
it go.
think about it. Let it go.
Sandra, next Monday and the following Monday, you won't be around, or just next Monday?
Yeah, not just next Monday, and then I will send you the link for the Monday after, and we keep going.
Sure. And to send you the link about the Japan walking trail by email, or you use WhatsApp?
You can send it to WhatsApp too.
Do I have it? I forgot. Don't think.
Or whatever you have, just send it to me. That's fine. Whatever.
Okay.
Thank you, Norita.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for all this. It's so amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all
remember,
that.
you can do 5 minutes meditation.
Yes, I will. It's raining here in Queensland, so I'm going outside. I'm going to sit down and meditate in front of the rain.
Beautiful. Love you.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you in 2 weeks.
I wish you can come one day to Sunshine
That would be great.
Will be nice.
And you can
have a nice group around here
too.
Think about it, make it happen.
Yes, and we can see each other.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.